Hey guys, a very good morning and welcome to a new episode. So I just want to take this moment to thank every single one of you for all the birthday wishes yesterday. It really means a lot. So with that said, my apologies as well for the dollar index, as we have been moving pretty bullish, a little bit different than expected. But yeah, it is what it is. So let's see how we can improve ourselves today and see what is going to be going on. So to begin with, of course, the dollar index. So the dollar index closed as a bullish engulfing, a very strong bullish close, as we can see on the daily. Looking at the 4-hour as well, we can see that there's a lot of bullish 4-hour momentum. So essentially what we've now done is we've broken this descending trend line, which we seem to be rejecting over here, right? So we broke above that trend line, saw multiple closes above, so we are essentially looking bullish as of now. So for today, I am expecting a minor pullback to at least this imbalance candle over here, this zone at around 92.775. And from there, we will see what is going to be happening next. Because if we do form some rejection over here and we do form support within this zone, I do expect us to start moving up higher. Otherwise, we could just start crashing back down further again in towards 92.277. I have seen this in more instances where we do kind of see this massive bullish candle, and that then afterwards we do just retrace back in towards lows for, let's say, a nice double bottom, or even back down in towards the zone of 92.277. So still wouldn't be surprised if that were to happen. But yeah, of course, we are essentially, or we did close very bullish on the daily, so it isn't really looking good for some bearish momentum at the moment yet. But let's just wait and see what the 4-hour does today. Anything can happen, and that's kind of the problem with these summer markets. These summer markets are a little bit less predictable, in my opinion, and what you'll see is more often than not that you'll have these very fast erratic movements within the market, which are pretty hard to predict. But yeah, it is what it is. Not really that big of a problem. So for today, two things that could happen, and today's kind of like the crucial day. Today is D-Day. Today it's all about if we are going to close bearish or not, because if this candle closes bearish, we will see 92.277. But if this candle breaks above, we could start creating a new higher high. It's good to remember that we do still have this area of supply, because you can draw this area of supply in two ways. I most of the time in the recent weeks have been drawing it from wick to wick, but you can also draw it from wick to body, as I have done in this situation. And as we can see, we haven't touched that zone yet. So what could happen is that we could still just tap in towards that zone and then see a drop in towards the lows still occur. That's kind of what I'm going to be keeping an eye on. The only fact, or the only thing that will really make me bullish on the dollar index is if we do see, let's say, 2 candle closes above this swing high. So yeah, for today, it's a little bit of a waiting game in my opinion. I just really want to see how the daily is going to close, because the daily is going to tell me if we're going to start moving up or down. This is the zone that I'm going to be looking for potential support forming, which could push us higher. And this is the zone that I'm looking for, which could push us potentially down lower. So with that said, let's head over to Aussie dollar. And Aussie dollar moved perfectly in towards the zone as expected. We also took out this low down below over here. And as we can see at the moment, there was a lot of bearish momentum on Aussie dollar, mainly due to the fact that in Australia, the COVID situation is pretty strict at the moment, pretty screwed up from what I've been reading. So at the moment, what we do, or what we can see, is that we have been forming support at this -618 Fibonacci extension level. Also, we are of course still in this area of demand, and this area of demand can always, be enlarged with half of the zone that you already had. So we are essentially still in this area of demand, and we can still see that pullback occur from this -618 Fibonacci level. As we can all see at the moment, Aussie dollar isn't really looking good for a trade in my opinion. There is no clear channel or wedge, which is indicating, okay, well, we are going to see a reversal from here. This is just purely based on overextended price action and the fact that we are still in this area of daily demand, which is giving me the feeling that, okay, we could still see a pullback back up higher to at least, let's say, this zone over here. So yeah, Aussie dollar is a little bit of a hard one just because of the price action that we're currently seeing, and we're just gonna have to wait for something new to evolve. What I would love to see is us pushing up slowly but surely back up in towards the highs with this beautiful channel or wedge to then take a short further in towards the lows. So yeah, that is Aussie dollar, not much to be honest, but yeah, it's just messy price action. So let's head over to Euro dollar. And Euro dollar, guys, so Euro dollar moved back down in towards my break-even stop loss, sadly. But yeah, what we can now see is that we have taken out this swing low. So what we now know is that all the stop losses underneath this low have been taken out, which is pretty nice to see. So for today, what is very important is how is this daily candle going to be closing? Because if this daily candle closes bullish, we could start seeing some more upside still. But yeah, as you guys can see, the bearish candle on the daily is pretty significant, pretty strong. So therefore, we're just gonna have to really wait and see what the dollar index is going to be doing today and how this daily close on Euro dollar is going to look like. What I'm looking for is at least a pullback in towards this zone up above over here. And from there, I'll just be waiting for the dollar index to tell me where we are going to be heading next. Yeah, kind of the same as on Aussie dollar with Euro dollar. It's just pretty much a waiting game. And some other pairs are looking better at the moment, so I'm just going to have to be focusing on those pairs instead of these pairs. All I can say for now is that, okay, stop losses have been taken out, we aren't forming any clear price pattern, so we're just going to have to wait and see. What I would love is, for instance, for something like this to form, where we do see this, and then start breaking out in towards the highs above this major daily trend line. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. That would be the perfect situation, of course. So that said, that's kind of what I'm waiting for, and yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see if that plays out, because that would be the ideal situation and would be perfect for us to take a potential trade. So with that said, let's head over to Kiwi dollar, or pound dollar, excuse me. So pound dollar in towards this area of demand beautifully, as we can see, still in this downward, yeah, kind of like channel, not really, but I just drew it in there for fun, because it did represent that we had this descending consolidative price action. As we can see, we're currently situated in this area of first demand alongside the 618. Looking at the daily time frame, the daily is looking pretty nicely. So what we need to see now is that we need to see a reversal pattern form, essentially. That's what I'm going to be waiting for. So in the perfect world, of course, a large impulse up, then a perfect push down, something like this to form a beautiful channel or wedge. I can't just start randomly buying from this zone, even though it is demand, because that's just not in my strategy. So I'm just going to have to be waiting until we form something beautiful for us then to trade pound dollar back up higher. Unless, of course, on the lower time frame, we see something else start to form, in the sense that we see a massive pullback or a massive push, and then a beautiful descending correction with a channel or wedge. That's just what I'm going to be looking for, excuse me. So that said, let's head over to Kiwi dollar. And Kiwi dollar has been rejecting my zone so far now. As we can see, we have formed some support in here. It is looking good to start pushing up higher, in my opinion. Sadly, the 1 hour is just also very messy. As you guys know, I was waiting for a channel or a wedge to form. Could still form, just neglect this wick over here. If we do that, then we could say, okay, well, potentially we are going to be forming some kind of channel or wedge, excuse me, in the form of this. So this is what I'd be waiting for, essentially, to then go long. Otherwise, what I'm just going to be doing is I'm just going to be waiting for price to move up higher to, let's say, this area over here, to then start looking for some potential shorts. So yeah, that is kind of it, guys. The dollar pairs are a little bit boring at the moment. My apologies for that. Not my fault. I think it's Biden's fault. But yeah, it is what it is. We're just gonna have to wait and see what forms and what is next. So I wish you guys all a very pleasant day. Make sure to join the free Discord. We'll be dropping some setups today if they look interesting. And yeah, we'll just stay in touch, guys. So once again, thank you so much for supporting me, for subscribing, for liking these videos. It really means a lot. And I can't wait to see you all in tomorrow's episode or inside the Discord community. Thanks, guys.